Hi guys, this is Erin the flower stylist, or Erin from J&M. I'm here with you guys today to do a little class on bud vases. And I'm going to kind of go through what I really like about bud vases and what I really, like to use and stuff like that. Two things, I have both my pets with me in the room today, so there's a very strong possibility that the cat who's currently sitting over there is going to jump in front of the camera at some point, or the puppy who's currently sleeping in the back is going to start crying. So just be prepared that we might have to stop and I might have to deal with them in a little bit. So first things first, I wanted to kind of talk about these bud vases that I got. These ones I have over here, I think you guys saw them in the one video when I thought I could use them as extra things for the roses. Didn't turn out that we could, but I'm using them again today. What I really like about these is that they're a ceramic bud vase. They have a really big water supply, which is really important with bud vases. Typically with bud vases, you wind up having such little water in them that the flowers can die really quickly if you're not really on top of changing out the water and stuff like that. Whereas these ones, because there's so much space down here for water, the flowers will last a little bit longer. The second thing I really like about these is that they are a ceramic bud vase, which means I can paint them whatever colors I want when I want to, which I just really love. As you can see, I painted them white today. They were black before. So I just really love these. I had this set of 4, and then I just got these ones the other day from Amazon. They're a little bit of a smaller type of it, but I liked that it was still that similar shape and kind of had the same feeling to it. So today I'm going to kind of be working with these. Again, I'm a big proponent of bud vases. I think you can use them in a lot of different places in your house. You could use something small like this in a bathroom, or, align these up across the fireplace, use these down your table. They're really versatile, and they're always a good thing to just have around. So first things first, I'm going to show you some of the flowers we got. We got different flowers, and they're not orange. 2 big plus points. So I got for you today to take a look at these gorgeous Clooney ranunculus. Yes, they're called Clooney after George Clooney. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're an Italian variety that they were kind of first in Italy. Now they kind of get done in Holland a lot of the time. But I'm going to be using some of these, as well as these Grand Duchess peonies that I got, which are absolutely stunning and super, amazing. Peonies are in season right now. You'll start to notice in your gardens the lighter varieties will open up first, and then the darker varieties later on. So I just kind of got some of that stuff. I also got some more greenery to work with today. I got this Hypericum berry, which is something that we use at J&M constantly. It's really one of our main staples as far as greens go, and it has been for years. The other greens I got were viburnum, which is a really beautiful seasonal bloom in spring. You'll start to see like the viburnum trees coming up now. The area I live in, for some reason, stays a little bit colder because we're on top of a mountain versus the other areas. So like in other areas, lilacs like kind of fully in bloom at this point. Up here, we're just starting to see it. So lilacs and viburnum are kind of around the same time frame. And then the last thing I got here is miniature green hydrangeas. This is another staple flower that J&M uses all year round, all the time. I really love these. They're just a great pop of color in with especially if you're just doing something really simple. I really like this look. So what I'm going to do is kind of separate things. And I'm going to start with my big guys first. So I'm going to just kind of move these out of the way. So for these, I'm really keeping it very simple today. I'm just going to use the larger stem of blooms. As you can tell, I got the smaller thing for the smaller containers and the larger one for the larger ones. And I'm going to just kind of pop them in. And you'll see how easy it is to, I should take these off. You'll see how easy it is to use bud vases. They really just kind of, they're self-explanatory. They don't require a lot, and they let you do really simple, easy designs. Something with peonies, though, before I continue on, if you want, see how the back of this has kind of some of these damaged petals? Same thing with roses. We're just going to pull these back. And get rid of just that ugly protective petaling. A big thing that people ask me all the time with peonies, there's kind of a wives' tale that it takes ants to open up peonies. It's not necessarily true. So where that comes from is when a peony's shut, it has like a secreted like sugar that the ants really are attracted to. So in the wild, like they do kind of need to have ants and other insects go and like lick off the sugary like glue that's holding it together before they can open up. Most wholesalers though, they just spritz them with water, and it's pretty much the same thing. But in your garden, if you are collecting these, I would suggest taking them and just shaking them out just to make sure all little critters aren't winding up in your house. So what I'm going to do with these again, I'm going to take my miniature green hydrangea and just kind of accent it. What I want to do with these again is just kind of keep it all very simple and very tight. And then I'm just going to take a berry and accent it here. I've been doing a ton in the past, really this fall season. We did so many weddings with little bud vases. They're a great way to have a lot of color accents on a longer table. So I really do love that. So this guy's done. We're just going to keep that process going with the other ones. Yeah, so for a lot of weddings now, we have been doing these, and I just think it gives you a really simple, elegant look, and it can mix in with candles really easily, which I'll show you once I do my table. I'll set that up, and you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about there. Again, these are just really, these are just stunning examples of peonies at this point. So peonies are going to run you, just so you guys have an idea, the peonies that we get are brought in not locally typically until the real season starts. Most of the areas that we get our peonies from right now are either from, they're from Chile when we get them in off season, like in the fall, because their spring season's the opposite of ours. And then in, like around now, we start getting them from like North Carolina. As well as they kind of go through the state. There are some farms in upstate New York where we'll probably be getting them from pretty soon. And then Holland is a constant producer of them during this time. As well as there's something called the Alaskan peony, which is more during the summer. Like, so late August and stuff like that is when we can get in like Alaskan peonies. They are very expensive, but they are, it's just that time of year. If you really want to have some beautiful peonies in the middle of August, really that's the only way that you're going to get it. So I'm going to put this one off to the side and then do this guy. What I love about the peonies is there's just so many shades in this. Like even this one you can kind of tell. It's like such a creamy, blushy tone right here. These are really like the pinnacle of some of my favorite ones. There's a couple of other varieties that have like a pink dart going through them. These have it a little bit, but not as much. That one is like probably one of the more common ones that you'll see around more in florists. It's just a more common breed of it. That's called Festiva Maxima, in case anyone's curious. You have to understand with like the flower names and stuff like that, people just like start making them up after a while. Like there's a hydrangea out there that's called the green Hulk hydrangea. It's green with like little purple on the ends. So it's kind of just like, you have to understand, like they're just making up names after a while. So again, so the Hypericum, fun fact, if anyone cares, that J&M goes through, at Valentine's Day this year, we went through 600 stems of green Hypericum. It's just something that we literally like, we goof around sometimes that we're eating it. Like there's just no way that we can possibly go through all this just using arrangements. Someone has to be just like chowing down on it somewhere. So I'm going to take my last green hydrangea here. Put him in like that. And my last peony. Now, I would suggest if, like this peony is perfect for entertaining purposes. I would suggest if you wanted it to be more like of a slow development in your home, I would get them in a much tighter stage. When you first see them in the floral shop, they will be more like, sorry, this one here. See how that one's kind of still like a ball shape? If you get them really tight, it's like the size of a golf ball. And then they will slowly open for you. If you want them to last longer, do that. These ones I probably have about 4 or 5 more days on before they start shattering on me, which everyone I'm sure has seen before. Where they just start, the petals will just like completely fall off one day. So now that I'm done with my larger ones, I'm just going to switch over to my shorter ones and kind of move this mess to the side, and I will clean that up later. So with these ones, I kind of want the same idea as I had with my taller ones, but instead of the green hydrangea, because I don't think that'll really fit, I'm going to use the much thinner stem of the green viburnum. And with the green viburnum, what I'm going to do is kind of just chop it up a little bit. Oh, this one's a little sad. Let me use a different piece. I don't want it to feel so heavy, so what I'm going to do is just kind of take a couple of the blooms and just take the leaves off that are going to be going into the water so you can hold on to them a little bit longer. Again, leaves in the water leads to mold. So just something simple, simple like that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to repeat that in my other vases. And I just want this to feel very light and springy. I want it to be, you know, it's why I chose the white for it. I would have probably, if I had had the spray paint, right now I have a ton of spray paint, but I don't have like a gray color. I probably would have painted these a darker gray tone, just because I think it would have gone better with the house, and I just would have liked a little bit more contrast between the blooms and the containers themselves. But, you know, for now I'm not like complaining. I think the white's really pretty. It's a really nice touch. So again, I'm just kind of going through, this is how I kind of work actually at the store. I kind of build out like 6 or 7 arrangements at a time. And I just kind of do the same thing over and over again. So as you can see, I'm just kind of taking these. I'm not super careful about length or anything like that. I just want them to kind of feel, again, very natural and, you know, kind of give me that look that I'm hoping for here. And then I have just one more. So I'm going to use these guys. And again, what we want to do with everything is make sure we do fresh cuts before we put them into new sources of water. It just helps them kind of drink up more water and stuff like that. And then what I'm going to do is add in my ranunculus. Now, some people might say like, oh, I'm not going to use these little baby tendrils. I actually really like them. I think that they do look really cute when they're mixed in. So I'm just going to show you guys here. So I'm going to have the one like that. I'm going to leave one a little taller, like that. And again, it just kind of gives like a cute, fun vibe to the arrangements. This is not something I want it to be perfect or anything like that. I want it to feel very free. And then I might accent it with a little bit of greenery at the very end. You could just see what's great about the ranunculus is how, so this variety, the reason why it's a different variety than normal ranunculus, a normal ranunculus is probably what you're typically used to seeing in the stores, is more something along these lines in size. When I say the Clooney ranunculus is a nicer variety, it's about, if this is like a 1-inch diameter, this is about 3-inch diameter. You'll be able to see the difference there. So it really is a big difference. There is also a big difference in the price on them, but as far as, as far as like a regular ranunculus goes, you're looking at spending between $2 to $3 a stem on something like that, whereas a Clooney ranunculus, you're looking closer to like $5. But you are getting more of a flower for it. So, you know, depending upon your purposes for it and stuff like that, I feel that the increase is definitely worth it. Sorry guys, I'm kind of blocking your view with these flower arrangements. Let me show you guys one more time what I mean with, or 2 more times, I have 2 more of these. So what I'm going to do is the big one, kind of like this. And again, I want it to feel floppy and just kind of very organic. This little guy, and then I'm gonna do this one. cut that guy a little bit more. This one, sorry. And do another little guy here. And because I do have a little bit more room in these vases, I am going to accent it with a little bit of the pittosporum. I talked about it in the last class. The thing I like about pittosporum is it tends to come with this very bushy nature to it. But what's great is, especially for these little bud vases, we can pop out just a little pinch of green and kind of just accent with that. Actually, I think I'm only going to need one piece per container. So something just like that is what we're hoping to get. Trying to fix it in the do it backwards so you guys can see. So again, I'm just going to take more of this greenery and just kind of fill in that last little gap of space. What's great about this pittosporum too is I've had this since last week. It's really held up well for me. Typically your greenery will do that for you. As long as you keep it in water and you know, well hydrated and stuff like that, you'll be able to keep it for quite some time. I wouldn't use something like the lemon leaf in this. Again, it's just not as delicate. I really want that delicate feeling with these vases and just very simple, elegant feels. I'm actually going to cut this a little bit shorter. So again, this is something I think you guys could easily do at home. I really believe in having like a good set of bud vases that are really able to change with the seasons for you. With these, I could easily see myself utilizing these, you know, painting them maybe silver or gold for the holidays, or you know, maybe doing like a nice burnt orange color in the fall. Anything along those lines, I would say, you know, you can kind of go with as far as that goes. As far as like changing them up. And I really feel that having that capability of changing quickly and easily is very important. So I'm just going to accent, just because we have a little bit extra flowers, I'm going to accent a couple of these with 2 blooms. The secondary bloom, I don't want it to be too big. Because like if I have like a superstar one, I want it to kind of show through. But I'm going to kind of just put these in. So I have 6 of these. So I'm going to do 3 of them with double blooms and then 3 without. And there we go. So these guys, you can see what the double bloom versus the single bloom looks like. So just to give a little bit of difference there. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, is set up my table with some candles and stuff like that and show you how I'd kind of work these into a tablescape for you, okay? So I'll be right back. Hold on. Hey guys, so here's our finished product on the table. I'm going to kind of pan around as I'm talking to you. Quick tip actually on the tablecloth. Right now my leaf is in the table, so this tablecloth doesn't really fit it with the leaf in it. So what I did was I just turned it on its side to kind of give it like that like chic country vibe type thing. So that's just a good little tidbit if you have a tablecloth that's not fitting on your table with a leaf in it, that you can do to just kind of still give it a glamorous look. So just as we go through, you're going to see, so these are the close-ups of the little guys. So as you can see, just really cute, very simple. Here's one of the bigger ones with the peony. And what I did is I just kind of accented this with candles and then just kind of created my tablescape from here. So I'm going to back up and show you the whole thing. And it was just really simple and easy, and it's something that you guys could easily recreate at home. Again, the biggest thing I think that you guys should try to invest in is the bud vases. You could definitely do glass. I would suggest making sure that they have a large reservoir for water, but I personally like the ceramic for the versatility like I talked to you guys about before. So that's pretty much it as far as the flower class goes for today. So definitely make sure you guys like the content, and I will be back with you next week to create some more. Okay? Thanks. Bye.